Shalom. This week we start a brand new Sedra and a whole new Sedra Bamidbar. President Richard Nixon was a troubled, paranoid man his entire life. He saw himself as inferior to all others, and his actions could be framed by his attitude. In college, he started a student group to compete with wealthy students on campus. He dedicated his entire life to rising above others that tried to keep him down. He battled his own President Eisenhower, his competitor Kennedy and Humphrey Wallace McGovern, and even Ronald Reagan. His extreme inferiority was revealed when he ordered the break-in of the Democratic headquarters in the Watergate Hotel. President Nixon's consistent grab for power led to his downfall. Ambition for power has brought many a great person to leave the proper path. In this Dvar Torah, I like to examine man's ambition, if not need, for power. I like to illustrate how the need for power overtakes a person, to the point where he no longer thinks of anything else. I'll prove that in the end this need for power brings man down. To prove the thesis, I'll look at the life of the leader of the tribe of Reuven, Eliezer ben Shteor. I hope this Dvar Torah warns the reader away from the power grab. Just as man nature drives him to succeed, to provide and protect, it drives him to conquer. Man isn't satisfied with the same frontiers always traveled. There are new horizons to discover, and man will not stop until they are found. When Neil Armstrong planted the American flag on the moon, it wasn't more than a symbol of American dominance. It was man meeting his nature. And like all aspects of man's nature, the threat of extremism is a constant danger. Simply because ambition for power is part of man's nature doesn't mean it is controllable. Like love, lust, and greed, once alighted, the lurch for power can veer sharply off path. As man loses balance and falls down the slope of ambition unscrewed, he is no longer climbing the mountain to power, but sliding to destruction. During the Egyptian slavery, the cruelty of the Egyptians pitted Jew against Jew. The Egyptians appointed Jewish taskmasters who were responsible to ensure that the Jews met their production quotas. When the Jews inevitably missed their quotas, the Egyptians beat the taskmasters. Instead of taking their pain out on their charges, these noble taskmasters took the beatings quietly. As reward for their actions, God appointed them the leaders of the tribes. Eliezer ben Shteor was one of those noble taskmasters and was appointed to lead the tribe of Reuven. In our Sedra, he is given the ultimate honorable mention. Yet during Korach's rebellion, Rashi quotes a medrash, which states that Korach rose up and gathered 250 heads of the Sanhedrin, mostly from the neighboring tribe of Reuven. They were the son of Eliezer the son of Shteor, and his companions. Eliezer went from noble taskmaster to corrupt partner of Korach. How did Eliezer ben Shteor, pride of Jewish unity, fall so hard and so fast to where he became a stain that hastened Jewish division? Eliezer tasted power with his ascension to taskmaster, but held it in check to use his position to help others. As his stature grew, the taste of power overwhelmed him, to where his hunger for power overtook his better instincts. In our aspirations to climb the mountain of power, we must be wary of slipping down the slope to destruction, just like Eliezer did. Shabbat Shalom.